Hey, good afternoon. This is going to be a fast tip, and this is a really good tip. And I didn't think about this, talking about this earlier, but I'm back over here, took a little lunch break, and I'm back in the middle of this thing. And I'm fitting this one here in right now, and it needs just a little bit of work right across the top. When you're working with it, even with any lead for that matter, this is 3/16, and I've talked already quite a bit about how difficult this stuff is, the 3/16. I'm not having a lot of trouble here. When we get up to the top of this thing, things will get a lot more difficult up here. But anyway, when you're trying to fit a piece of glass like this, I'm going to make this real quick, and this is a good tip. And you're pushing this thing down. I need, like I said, to grind just a tiny bit off the top of this to make this straight line across here. Well, you can't really see through the lead, obviously, and you don't know how well a fit you have on this piece in respect to it underneath this lead. So, well, how do you know? And particularly this, it comes in more context when you're working with the curved pieces like this. But here's a quick way to find out how well this thing fits under here. Just take a felt tip, and I've got this thing driven down nice and tight, and I do need just a tiny bit ground off that. All you have to do is make this little mark right here. And see, I took and marked right on the inside of that lead all the way around. All right, and then see if we can work this out of here. I may have to loosen this up just a little bit right here to get this out of here. We got it nice and tight. You'll see what I'm talking about here just in a second. Okay, here we go. Okay, now, look at this. That tells you how far that lead, edge of that lead, is across your glass. And so if you're not getting a good fit, then you might end up with that line right here, and you'd think, oh man, I'm just barely got the edge of that glass under here. And you can use that particular test on everything. You can come and run your black line down this thing right here, back that out, and you'll see how far you're off. Are you off underneath that lead that you can't see? This allows you to see how well a fit that you have, and obviously we have a very nice fit right there. Let me grind the top off this. We'll set this thing back in, and then I'll be done with this particular tip. But I didn't want to go and wait till, tomorrow or the next day before I get back into this thing with you guys to show you that. And I don't know, I think that one dawned on me a few years back in it, because I would be putting something like this together, and I would wonder, wow, geez, I wonder how good a fit I'm getting right there. And I thought, well, now wait a minute. Why don't I mark that and see how is that glass fitting underneath that lid? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, that fits. Now I've got a nice straight line all the way across there. We're going to change colors here in just a minute. Oh, we got this area right here. See, I put a little foot. Just trace the foot. Put this piece of paper back underneath the lid. Trace that. Cut that out. And then I'll go ahead and cut this piece of glass here in just a minute. Cut that one in line with this one. We'll go ahead and put this one in, and then just continue on across here. But there's our little pattern for this thing right here. And again, I'm talking about the one piece at a time. Boy, look at that. Nice fit. The one piece at a time method is allowing me really, really tight tolerances here and making this thing fit just perfectly. Okay, that's all I have on this one. That is a good tip right there. Like I said, we could look right here. Well, this is a good question right here. How good is the fit there underneath that piece of lead? Since I haven't looked, maybe I'll get a surprise here. We'll take a look. Oh boy, look at that. That's exactly what you want right there. and you're getting a nice fit underneath there. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be quite that even, but as long as you're getting as much as possible of that glass underneath the edge of that lid. Okay, I'll put that in, put this in, put this in, put this in. And you see I'm just adding these little pieces of lead here to hold this thing together till we get it the way we want it. I'm about to stop here for you guys. Notice always when you're whacking on this glass, put your finger, anytime you beat on this stuff, put your finger between the end of the hammer and the glass. If you're doing this right here and you miss, you break a piece of glass. So I'd rather hit my finger than I would the glass. Okay, that's it. Man, look at this thing. This book matching is working across here. And I'm about to bail out here in a minute. And there's my 1, 2, 3. These are the extension pieces up here, and we'll go back up and fit those and get those fit in. And we'll have a nice looking background glass behind this thing. Okay, that's all I have with this. I appreciate the attention. And man, that is a really good tip right there to draw underneath these things. You can do this on 1/4-inch lead too. With a 3/16, you don't have much room under there to start with, so this lets you know how good a fit you have. Okay, thanks.